All right, so this is kind of the end result after I fixed the tailgate. And I apologize for not having a lot of the detailed videos, but I'm not fully set up to record, and it was to record all the details of what I did, but I'm gonna try my best to go over what I did to fix this. So as a recap, the issue that I was having was that the latch back here was broken off. If I go in here, there's absolutely nothing, and I didn't know what the mechanism inside looked like. It's online. There's very little that I could see. So what I ended up doing was I went inside and I took these covers, this cover right here, and I took out this cover, and as you can see, that's one on that side, and the other one is up here, and it's just a single torque screw, and then it just clips off. And I got to the latches. If you look at here, these are the latches that hold the door in place. Get close in there, and these have an electronic actuator that when you pull the latch in the back of the hatch, it'll trigger those actuators and open the door. So what I ended up doing was I took these two bolts off on that side, which released the latch from the chassis of the car, and I took these two on this side, and I believe it or not, with that slack, with this fully loose, the door will actually fall down. It'll actually, these will clear the body without any force whatsoever, and this latch, you can just basically pull it out or push it out, and that then allowed me to unhook the top here to have more space to work. So this usually is like that, but you don't have any access to those latches unless this door is down. Okay, then once this was down, in order to get this latch out of here, because once this was still stuck in there, I had to do some modification. So as you can see here, this was my first attempt. Kind of had no idea what was happening in there, so I read online and I saw some articles that you could just drill a single hole and stick a screwdriver and somehow use a lever to have that this latch spit out this bracket. And with a single hole, I couldn't get it right. So I was already kind of committed to this, and you know, I used my drill to open more and more holes, and this is what I ended up in this side. I'll fix that up. I'll get some plastic repairs or something going on here, but whatever. I was just unhappy with the fact that I couldn't open this gate, so I was already willing to, you know, even if I have to go and replace this entire plastic from a new one online, I was willing to do that, because I really wanted to have this working. So eventually I got that working, and the way that this released was by pushing. Let me switch hands here. Getting a flathead screwdriver, and there's this metal piece right here, and if you stick your screwdriver in there, then just a slight push that way, like that. You see, if you hear that, that would release this latch, and it'll literally spit it out. On this side, after learning what I did over there, I just did a little hole here, and then I was able to kind of wiggle in and do that here without having to destroy this piece of plastic like I did on the other side. And this is much cleaner, which will be easier to patch up. But like I said, didn't matter. Once I got those latches out, then I could open this door, and then I could take out this panel. Basically, what you do is you take off this screw, then you have 4 other torque screws here, and then you have this other one. Once you do that, what will actually happen is the blue, this outer panel, the body shell will actually fall off. So be prepared for that. That's why I have this step stool here to kind of hold it when I was working on it. And what I found inside was that there's a little micro switch. Let me see if I can find that. Actually, I think that micro switch was part of the piece of plastic that goes in here, so it's in there. Anyway, there's a little micro switch, a little tiny micro switch that all that it was doing was that when you held the latch here in your hand, it would click the little micro switch and it would trigger those things. So what I ended up doing is I went to the outer part, and for like $3, I bought a push button. So you can see here, and I drill a hole here, and I wired up the 2 wires that went to the little micro switch into this push button. So when I press this button, it actually opens up. So let me see if we can see something here. Well, you don't see that happening, but what it does is it releases the door. So now, and I also drill a hole through this. So now you can open the tailgate from inside the car. So you don't have this right here because I didn't want to go and buy a whole entire. I think it's like $50 for this assembly here. And honestly, I think it would just break off again at some point. So now you can actually go in here and with a button, let that drop. And I think that's fine enough for my purposes. And that's it. Now you can also close this off, but you need to go from inside and open it like that, and fixed. Now in another video, I'm gonna go over what I'm doing here, which is changing. I was initially gonna just change the spark plugs, but after I took apart the coils, I realized that there was oil by there. So guess what? Now I gotta take all of this stuff off here, including this air thing and all the wiring harness and this thing here, which I don't know what it is yet, apart, so I can change the valve cover gasket. So that's gonna be fun. I already ordered it. It's like $20 something for the gasket kit, and it'll be here on Tuesday, so like a couple days from now. Today's Sunday, and I'll work on it one evening, and that's next. Well, thanks for watching. Okay, so what I'm gonna put now in the end of this video is the beginning of the process. So I recorded another video as I was starting this, and I didn't have all the learnings yet. So it's gonna be a little bit of me kind of frustrated because I had already been working on taking this apart, but it has a lot of useful little tidbits because it was right before I actually figured everything out that I was gonna do. So hopefully it's helpful. I wasn't very clear when I was describing the process yet because I wasn't fully aware of all the things I had to do, but here it is. This is my Smart ForTwo, and I have it right now on the lifts because I'm working on a couple of things. One of the things that I need to do is make this tailgate work again. So what's happening is underneath here there is supposed to be a latch or something that I can touch, or a button, and it'll unlatch the sides here, and then I can pull it out, and then this allows me to lift this up so I have a cargo space. And since I bought this car, I haven't been able to actually use this. So let me show you what I've started doing so far. And the next thing that I need to do is actually go in there and change the spark plugs because I'm getting a misfire. But I'm going to focus on showing how I'm opening this up first. So what I started by doing was getting some of these covers inside out. So I started by taking the plastic cover from this side out, and it's just basically held by one Torx screw, and then it just clips off. I started clipping it off here on this side, and after I did that, I use another set of Torx bolts to get this guy out. This bracket, you can see, is still attached there, and that goes like that. And I did the same thing on the other side. Again, one Torx is holding it down, and then I use Torx to get that bracket off. And after I did that, I was able to basically push that out and open it. So I can actually open this out now, and as you can see, I still have those brackets stuck to the tailgate, so I can't really open this either. There's another container here, and that's stuck there too. But at least now I can finally open this top. So you can see I can open it. It has these little levers that I wasn't able to access before because of the fact that this thing didn't open. So now if I step back, you can see that this is how the tailgate is supposed to look. So what's next for me is, apparently, if I drill a little hole here, I am able to use a screwdriver to release this hook here, and I do that on the same on this side, and then I can open. You can see I can open this and get at the entire mechanism that I need to fix. So it's part one of taking this apart, and we'll go from there.